Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the YeahAlright podcast. We're currently in Wellington. My watch just went off, piss off. We're currently in Wellington with our guest Sophie. She's a photographer. She's from Whangarei, from me, like me. Yeah, we were joined by the co-host or other host, Phoenix.
Hello.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Sophie.
Gosh. Well, I'm a photographer here in Welly doing videography, and I'm just freelancing, doing as much as I can. I originally lived in Whangarei, dreamed big, like as a high school student, pretty much. But yeah, didn't think that photography was gonna work out for me. It was not supposed to work out. It was kind of an accident. But but I fell into like loving the gig scene in Welly. I love the like music scene, and I study at Massey University.
That's cool.
So I'm just surrounded by a bunch of creators and yeah.
How do you find like working at gigs and events? Is it quite challenging or is it pretty straightforward?
I love it. It's my favorite scene to be in. I used to hate it because my old camera was like not ideal for like the dark light.
Oh, okay.
But I found such a huge admiration for it now that I have the right camera for the right kind of scene, I guess.
Okay. What was it like when you first started doing the gigs? Was it quite daunting?
No, like
really?
I love music.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that has so many Spotify playlists, just like all genres. I just love, and live music just has a special place in my heart. No, I'm kidding. But I think being at the live events and watching especially Massey students grow is so fascinating in itself, and I just love being there in the room. It is pretty hard at some venues because like places like Valhalla is quite squishy and like yeah, it kind of depends on where it is, what I'm doing, who I'm shooting. If it's rowdy, it's always fun, but it's always a challenge to take the photos when there's a big crowd.
Do you do more like photography or video, or like a bit of both?
So I'm studying film at Massey.
Yeah.
Because the original goal was to get into working into film sets and stuff. But yeah, so what I do is photo and video, but I'm more confident in photo than video. I'm still learning about video.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How long have you been studying in Massey or at Massey for?
So I've been studying, like this has been my first year.
Oh, okay, shit. How's like your first year been at uni?
It's been good. I've loved it. Like meeting so many creative people, being surrounded by creative people as well. Like so different compared to like our hometown. There's not much of a creative atmosphere there, or it doesn't get like embraced as much.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of tall poppy syndrome as well in Whangarei.
Yeah.
Like if you go and strive and do something like this or do something like photography, people are very quick to shoot you down and be negative about it. It's like
I think the ultimate question I would always get was, what's your plan B? What are you going to do in case it doesn't work out? And it's like, have like a bit of faith in our little creatives.
You just want to do the plan. Yeah.
Like,
I get that.
It was always... Sorry.
We don't really have a plan B for this, but we don't really care if it doesn't work out because we're not really doing it for money at the end of the day. We're just doing it because, well, I love interviewing people, I love spreading positivity and like, I don't know, just helping people out in a way. If my conversation helps people.
We don't care if like 3 people watch this.
Yeah.
As long as we're like having fun.
Yeah, exactly.
And you reach like a certain amount of people, it's all worth it at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
I think that's a big thing about me with photo, is that it's like I get to tell a story through my work, and same with film. I get to tell like people's stories and turn like the average story into something that's creatively beneficial for other people to look at. Because like I've always had an admiration to help people. I was never academically like thriving in high school, so I was like, I can't go into something like law, I can't go into something like med, I can't do anything to physically help people. So how can I use my like passions and gifts and talents to incorporate that into helping people?
And you do that through photos and videos.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And
That's
like
special.
I started doing photos for like people at uni who were just like starting to like release music on Spotify, and like I wouldn't charge them because at the end of the day, like we're all uni students, because like it's so rough with the financial situation that you have to be in as a uni student. So it all started just like me doing free work for everyone, because I was benefiting stuff for my portfolio, they were benefiting stuff for their music, and it was just like a win-win. And like when you have a passion for what you want to do, like it's all worth it. Like you don't need the money. Like it's just like
money. You kind of overlook the money aspect of it because it's something you enjoy doing, and I think that's like a real special thing to do as well. Because if you can do that, then like sure, money is useful, or like money's like one of the best things. But if you can overlook that and get into your passion, then who really cares at the end of the day? As long as you're having fun and you're spreading positivity to other people, then what's the problem, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I relate to that because I make music videos and stuff for people too, but I don't charge them either because it's like I get something.
You benefit out of it. Yeah.
We don't like charge. We could. It would be kind of stupid for us to charge people. Like people who come on the podcast could charge us, but they don't really.
We don't need to charge them.
No. I mean, like people we get on the podcast could charge us, but we don't.
Yeah. I don't know. Has anybody
like King Div could have like the rapper.
He's a bro though.
Yeah.
He's not gonna charge. He's not gonna charge.
There's been everyone we've had on the podcast has been pretty cool so far, and that's what we love about it.
Have you heard of this Fraser Grutt? He does like these 10,000 dreams.
No, I haven't.
So he captures he goes up to people around the world, and he films their dream and asks like, "What's your dream?"
How cool.
And we got him on the podcast. He's a friend of mine. I've known him for a few years. He's also a filmmaker like me. So we got him on the podcast last week, and he's awesome.
Oh, that's so cool.
Did a massive documentary, which was awesome.
Yeah, he worked on a Wiggles documentary.
Oh my
on
god.
Amazon Prime, so we got to talk about that.
That's so sick.
Yeah, I think that was probably one of the best podcasts.
That's my favourite.
Yeah, it just flew by so quickly. That 40 minutes just felt like nothing.
That was my favourite.
You started a photography club at Girls High.
Yeah, I did. I didn't know that you knew that.
No, I've done a bit of research. I like to do my research on people before getting them on the...
That really took me by surprise. Yes, I did run that. And
you posted a video about it, and it looked huge by the end of it. How did you get the photography club so big?
Wait, did you make that? It wasn't something that was already there?
Yeah, I started from scratch.
And is it still
I'm actually
going?
so glad that you asked that question.
I'm pretty sure it's still going at Girls High, right?
Yeah, so that club was like kind of what started my passion for photography. Like I was just taking like such crap photos on like a really old little camera like in year 8, and I was like, they were horrible. I never want anyone to see those photos. But and then when I went into high school, photography wasn't a subject till like year 13, and I was like,
Really?
Damn. Yeah, I know. Yeah. But also like the art department was still under complete construction, so like I don't think without the art department, I don't think they had the room to do it. There was like visual arts, and photography was involved in visual arts, but there was no like photography subject.
I think if you wanted to do photography, you had to go do it at Boys High.
Yeah, I remember that.
So they had it at Boys High, but not...
Yeah, girls and boys pretty much right next to each other, and there were like some classes that Girls High had, so if a guy wanted to do cooking classes, he'd have to go over to Girls High.
Wait, was it like mixed classes, boys and girls?
No, so it's two separate schools.
Okay.
So you as a boy would have to like walk in through the middle of a girls' school and then go and sit in like a girls' class to do cooking. And I mean, like, some guys it worked, but for me, I was just like, nah.
Was it just because, like, Boys High didn't have the facilities?
Yeah, we didn't have the facilities for it. Yeah. With the new school, I'm pretty sure they do, but I wasn't around for that. Yeah. I left in 2020, so that was 2 years after the new school. So
I've heard some pretty wild things about his school, though. I think every episode is like a new story.
Boys High is a pretty wicked school.
I went to Selwyn College, which is in Mission Bay. That's in Auckland, so
Girls High is a pretty
we had
photography
in my class though, in my year, and like year 9 it was a subject.
Really?
Oh,
that's cool.
Year
that's
9
cool
to year 13, so I
guys.
did it for all 5 years.
Shit. I wish we had that, because like we only had drama. That was kind of the only subject that was you could take all the way through from year 9 to 13.
Really?
There was like drama, Te Reo Māori, the languages obviously, the basics, and then there's science that you could...
I never did drama at school. I should have though.
Drama was pretty cool.
I really wish I did.
It helped me out a lot.
Yeah, I wish I did that.
So what made you want to start... Oh, okay, no, never mind. That was a bad question. Cut that up. Nah, I'm kidding. I was going to say, what made you start the photography club, but you answered that.
Are you allowed to talk about any projects you have coming up, or is it like real like top secret stuff, or like?
I don't know if I can say something.
If you can't say it, don't worry.
Yeah,
but you have something?
There is a really big photo gig that I'm doing next year in March, which I want to tell like the whole world, but I can't.
but it's big.
Yeah. It's like.
You can leave them in suspense like that.
I think it's like one of those things where it makes me feel like I've made it in the industry. So I'm excited for everyone to see those photos next year. But back to the photography club thing. I was year 9 when I started the club.
Shit.
May I add, first year 9 to like make a club at Girls High. So I was like, this is gonna be bad. Like I was like, I'm gonna be like so disappointed with the number. Like I'm an overachiever. Like I was head girl at Girls High as well. Like I like to push myself and
strive for more.
Yeah, strive for more. And so I was like, oh, like there's gonna be like maybe 30 people max, and I was like, but it's okay because it makes people more interested in photo. There was 120 girls that showed up on the first day in the hallway, and I was like, oh, like I wonder what else is happening in here. I was like, what? Like
how many girls are in the school?
I think now there's like 1,000. There's over 1,200 students.
But still, even like 100 people.
Yeah,
that's
it grew more.
Yeah.
So it went from like 120 girls, and then the highest number we got was 240.
Jesus.
And it's still going to this day.
Yeah, so it's I think there's some prefects in the design committee that are running it now. I think the like older I got, the more I like kind of like
stood back.
Like I was running it, but also I wasn't running it. And then like year 13, I was like, I'm running it, but then I was doing my own stuff, and I was like, this is crazy stressful. But yeah, that's like my biggest achievement from high school. And then they lowered it down to be a I think year 10s can do it now, or maybe year 11 to year 13. So that was like a moment where I was like, sheesh, cool. Like I actually have a drive and a passion for this. Like, what can I do with this? Yeah.
At what point did you kind of think, like, I can actually go further, like turn this into a full-on career?
Gosh. Well, it was never a part of the plan for photo to be a career. Like, it was just supposed to be a hobby. So I went, because I was like, what can I go into that's similar to photo, but like is more needed for work? So I was like, the film industry, you always need sound guys, you always need like cinematographers, you always need stills, BTS, or director roles, all of that. There's so many more aspects to film that made me feel a bit more safe to go into that industry, because there's kind of more guaranteed roles if you study it. But yeah, so it was just a hobby, and I just liked doing it, and then I started just doing it for free for my friends, and then they really liked the photos, and then chucked them on my Instagram, and then everyone was like, oh my gosh, can you like take photos for me? Or then they passed me on to another person.
Just word of mouth.
Yeah, and because my year 13 NCA level 3 board got into the New Zealand Top Art Tour. So,
really?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, I did. I think my theme was society taking away the beauty of cultural identity.
A very complex topic.
Yeah, but it's like based on a little bit of my mum's story when she was like in the Solomon Islands. But yeah, I had a beautiful model for that, and it was so perfect. Lydia, if you're out there watching this, she got me places.
Cool. I remember in year 13 when a lot of my mates were making art boards, and just making them was even hard, like getting even achieved. So I can't even like fathom how good it would have been just to get it like past excellence and into the yeah, that would be a pretty big achievement.
Yeah, I was stoked with that.
What was it like getting head girl?
I loved head girl. It was pretty busy. Like, I think I never found the balance of student and head girl. Like, I was like, I never knew where I like needed to be or what I
it is quite a big responsibility, and on top of that you're juggling the photography group.
Yeah.
And then I'm guessing you would have had a bunch of like prefect meetings, and you would have had organised that type of stuff. How, like, were you able to juggle it? How was it?
Oh, it was
difficult.
Yeah, it was just difficult. Like, I wouldn't like. I don't know, it gave me a lot of character growth. Let's just say
That's
that. Like, it has made me be able to cope with a lot of stress. Like, I'm a multitasker as well. Like, I like to kind of juggle things to make me busy, like lots of jobs at once. And so, like, I don't think anything can kind of phase me now after the amount of stuff I was juggling during year 13, which is so great for what I'm going to do, like, in my career. So, yeah.
Especially when you're trying to manage multiple projects, it's kind of taught you that now to be like, oh, okay, this isn't as bad as it seems. You can just kind of break it down a lot easier. That's a pretty cool skill to have. I've learnt that a lot from when I was prefect at school. That was kind of what we had to learn a lot, like just breaking down things and not getting it stressed. Because if you let the stress get the better of you, you're not gonna work. It's just not gonna work at all.
What's like your favourite project that you've done? You probably love all of them, obviously. But like, if you could go back and like relive it, what's one you would love to go back and relive?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think I loved doing the Rule concert. That was like a milestone in my photography, because that's when things started to like skyrocket for me. People saw that and were like, oh, she's like
Stone go somewhere.
She knows people, and like then people were asking me after that. But the experience was so cool being at so like Shed something, I don't know, it's like along the waterfront. Shed 6 or Shed?
Oh, Shed. I know when we passed it when we were going on a walk yesterday. Shed 6. It's not next to the rock climbing place.
It's like it's like along the waterfront, but it was so cool and it was just so full. That or Summer Thieves. Summer Thieves was so fun.
You've done Summer Thieves.
Yeah.
Like really good
what's
band.
Summer Thieves?
Summer Thieves is like they're a very coasty band.
Oh,
they like the absolute vibe. They're coming to Whangarei on the 9th of December. I'm shooting for them there.
Shit, that would be cool to see.
Jamie's like, I'll be there.
It's
I will be there. They're sort of like you probably won't know Messiah, but they're similar to Messiah and Cordery, sort of like kickback, sort of R&B, but not really R&B.
Yeah.
They're like
Sticky Finger? Nah.
bit of reggae alternative rock maybe. Like it's just like it's hard to explain. They're like kind of their own genre of music. Well, no.
The best way to describe it, I would say, is like New Zealand music.
Okay.
That sounds so weird, but like there's certain music that you just hear.
You just know is
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just got its own style. It's good music though, 100%.
They have such a lovely team and such like, just the chemistry in the band is so sick. Like just talking, because I was just talking with a guy that works with them, and like just they're all mates and they all just like vibe, and that's like what you want in a band, and like that's when you know that they're going to go places, and when they're so tight and they're so close.
And they're not like worried about other things, they're just worried about that's cool.
What cameras do you have?
So
I wish you had like all your like equipment, because I love cameras and setups and stuff. What do you have? I want to know.
So I have a Sony A7 Mark III camera body, and then I have a Tamron 25 to 75mm lens. I have a fisheye lens.
I love fisheye.
Yeah, it's just literally straight up fisheye. Like it's not like a wide lens that eventually goes to like fisheye wide, but it's just straight up fisheye. It's manual focal length and manual f-stop as well. Can't zoom.
Okay, yeah.
But still so sick. Like love
You
it.
get some pretty cool shots with that.
Yeah, I was shooting last night with it, and it was pretty cool. Especially because I feel like they're kind of like taking off at the moment, like that very filmy, like old school editing style with fisheye is quite popular. What else have I got?
I need some new cameras like that. I've had the same ones for 7 years. They're still good though. Canon 700D.
Do you use many tripods or gimbals when you're...
Yeah.
Okay, do you use like stabilization gimbals or...
Yeah. So I've got a... Oh, what gimbal do I have? I want to say it's one of the Rode gimbals, but it might not be.
The Rode ones are quite nice.
I'm pretty sure it might be. I don't know. Oh, no, it's not. But I was looking at the Rode, and then there was a similar one that was much lighter to carry, but it had like the same specs and everything, stabilizes just as much, but it's so much lighter for me to carry when I'm doing like big film days or anything.
Yeah.
So I have my stabilizer for video, but I don't really use it
That
all
much?
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if I'm in like at a gig in a crowd. Like it's just really annoying to kind of weave
Yeah.
through the crowd.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
I know you love obviously being behind the camera. Would you ever do anything in front of the camera though? Besides this, obviously right now. Are you more passionate about being behind the camera and working out everything? Like,
Yeah, like I love being behind the camera. I wouldn't mind getting in front of the camera every now and then. Like if I need an actor and I don't have one, I'll just be like, oh, I need to test something. Like there's so many
Yeah.
reels on my Instagram where I'm just like trying to test out a shot for like a bigger project, and I'm just like, well, I'm just gonna use myself because
Yeah.
it's like all for seeing if I want to edit it differently or if like the location works, if my lens captures how wide I want it to be or how close I want it to be.
do you work on like short films and stuff?
Yeah, I have a short film that I'm currently in the middle of working on.
Oh really?
Yeah, so I'm filming it next week. Hopefully I'm going
That's
to get it
fine.
done, but I'm not sure at this point because,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you know where that's like gonna go? Just YouTube or?
Yeah, I think it's just to have, maybe to put on YouTube. Like, I just sent out a Google form onto my Instagram. My followers put a bunch of replies onto a Google form where I ask like really deep questions. It's about, it's a symbolical, metaphorical, like, sequence about
Yeah.
attachment, like more of negative attachment towards people that have left your life. But yeah, with short films and stuff, I like to make stuff with meaning and I like to pull on the
Yeah,
heartstrings. That's also the
those are
genre
the
that I like
ones.
to watch. I love watching, I know it sounds so sad, but I love
No,
watching
no.
sad movies because they're like,
That's I know. Don't worry.
Thought
I'm
Yeah.
not
provoking
saying.
in a way.
If
yeah,
you need like actors or anything, please let me know. Like people behind the cameras, because I'm also
always
working
need
on
actors.
because I've got a movie going to cinemas next year, so I live for this as well.
That's
So
so
like if
cool.
you need like anything, please, I live for it.
Yeah, that's so sick.
If you could wave a wand and have anything happen, like anything you want to happen in the next 5 years, what would it look like?
Gosh, I would be traveling the world, just being a freelance photographer, videographer, and I would be shooting for like my favorite artists. I think, who did I think that was like a dream for me to shoot the other day? Oh, I saw a video on TikTok of Macklemore, and I was like, he's coming to New Zealand, I think.
On his new hit for his new album, eh?
Yeah, I was like,
When's he coming?
I wonder if I can weave my way through to like get in that crowd, but I don't think
That
I'll
would
be
be-
able to.
I reckon if you got to the very front of the mosh pit, maybe.
Oh, like, I'm not gonna sneak my camera in. Like, I was actually debating on messaging their team and being like, yo.
Do you need some photography?
Yeah.
There's a little tip, Fraser. I told you about Fraser doing
Yeah.
10,000 Dreams. How he actually managed to get to where he, like, some of the projects that he's done, like the Wiggles documentary. I love it when he tells the story. He actually guesses the emails for the management teams,
Mhm.
and he guessed the
That's
Wiggles
so
management
funny.
team, and that's how we got in.
That's so good.
Just write a bunch of emails.
Yeah, that's what I
Guess
do.
their emails. And,
They'll
Like,
eventually might reply.
yeah. Because how I got Summer Thieves was I did a show reel for a drummer that, like, he's just, like, trying to grow, and it was just for his portfolio. And so his manager, Bonnie, passed me on to this lady, Erin, and then she passed me on to Scott, who works for Summer Thieves, and then they got me the Summer Thieves gigs, and then they liked the photos, and they asked me to do the big project that I'm doing next year with another band that I'm
Yeah.
like so excited for. I'm so excited and I can't wait to like.
when can you tell people about that? Is it like a contract,
I don't-
obviously, you've signed?
No, there's like no contract. I just
You just want to wait.
yeah,
Let
like
people- yeah,
I just
fair
want it to
enough.
be like a surprise or like, because obviously like he said that like I'm doing it, but then obviously anything can happen.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, because it
yeah.
is so far away, it's just like anything can happen. But I know that like he's pretty set on me doing it, so I'm like so stoked.
Just let people know that
yeah.
something's coming.
Yeah, he just told me that like, would you be keen? And I was just like, yeah, so keen. And he was just like, okay, I'll message you close to the time of like all the further details. So I'm
Yeah.
waiting for those further details and like the pay and all of that. So
Yeah,
yeah, so like I'm pretty set on it. I just like, I want it to be a bit of a surprise for everyone because I feel like
In like March, did you
yeah,
say?
it's something I'm really, really proud of that
That's awesome.
I don't know how it happened to me. It's just like a why me, like how, like kind of moment. But
Top
That's
5 artists. If like you had, have a top 5 list in your head of the artists you want to do some photography for their concerts. Who would it be?
oof, I would love my favorite artists there's like my favorite artists and then there's like people that would be so good to capture because they're good at performing.
Mm.
Like my favourite artists like Catch a Fire, like Some Tribes, Sticky Fingers, Ocean Alley, and who else? Fat Freddy's. But
Oh, yeah. Fat Freddy's banger.
like that's like my kind of genre of music I like to listen to.
Summer kickback music.
Pretty much. But I think when I saw the Macklemore video, I was like, man, he's a performer.
Was that that TikTok about that girl that was dancing and tripped up on stage?
No, I didn't see that.
So Macklemore was on his concert tour and got a kid, like a girl was holding up a sign, I really want to dance to one of your songs. He got her on stage and
I did see that.
she tripped.
Yeah, she tripped up but kept performing, and that was like the most wholesome speech he gave after. He was like...
She got back up again.
Yeah, she tripped but she got back up again.
That would have made her a whole year.
Yeah, and everyone was just like cheering for her and like, it was the most wholesome TikTok I'd seen this year, I reckon. Real good, like, I reckon going to one of his concerts would just be next level. I've listened to him for ages now, so yeah.
It's so wholesome.
I need to go to a climbing concert in years.
When did I? Oh, Homebrew.
I went to Queen years ago, but I think
Queen?
it. Yeah.
Isn't he dead?
Yeah, he's dead, but I think...
Was it like a remake?
Yeah.
Oh, that's like an
I
experience.
remember that, like, going, like, everyone was talking about that.
I loved Queen, yeah.
I reckon Fat Freddy's drop would be pretty cool to go see, and I don't think they're doing any more tours again anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know.
I missed out last year. It was they had one in what's it? The Walkwith. They had something out there, at Walkwith, a concert, and I didn't go. I regret it because it was one of their last ever concerts, and now I can't. But oh well, that's life.
That's life.
If you could like say anything to anybody that has like a passion, that wants to do something, because I know there are a lot of people that have passions that I'm sure you've experienced with people who are like, you can't do this, like be realistic type of thing. Like what would you say to someone who has that?
Just like, just chase it. Like, who cares about what everyone thinks? If you have a drive and if you have a passion, I think the drive is the biggest part, because the drive makes you block out everything that's unrealistic.
Yeah.
And it, like, you make a strategic plan on how you can climb. And I think drive and passion is just so important, and just like being genuine in the industry, like coming into the industry with a different like aura than what's already there, because people will look at you and be like, damn, he or she are different, or they are different. Like, it's like, it's amazing, like, people can just spot you.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, they admire who you are for who you are, because you're just authentic like that.
You go a lot further as well.
Yeah, 100%.
When you're just yourself and you open up and let yourself be you, because people realise when you're genuine and when you're not. That's just the internet. That's the way it is. So the more genuine you are, the more people see that, and that's what goes further on the internet, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. We've good.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
That's okay.
Where can people find you or?
So my Instagram, I have a photography Instagram, which is SOPHIEOVEREEM.nz. You can see all my work on there, and I post a bunch of stuff. I also post on TikTok some behind the scenes stuff of my photo shoots and video stuff. I'm pretty sure that's just Sophie Overeem, I think, something like that. Just search up my name and it'll come up. But yeah, it's been a pleasure
Sweet.
being on the
Awesome.
potty.
Thank you.